It has been a rough few months for one West Phoenix school district accused of overspending its budget by millions of dollars. We're talking about the Isaac Elementary School District, a financial fiasco that put teachers at risk of not getting paid. Now there's a third party controlling the district's finances. Jobs have been cut. And just yesterday, we reported that the district plans to close some of its school heading into next year.
And the biggest question of all, how did this happen? Why did no one see what was going on? Tonight, only on 12 News, the I-Team's Erica Stapleton is getting answers from the district's former CFO, who was asked to resign amid the financial fallout.
People are saying, oh, there needs to be an investigation. This is fraud, this is criminal. How do you respond to that?
There's absolutely nothing we did that isn't remotely criminal.
Lynn Lang defending her former school district. She resigned as the Isaac Elementary School District CFO amid revelations from the Maricopa County Treasurer's Office that the district's budget was in the red by more than $28 million.
Everything was spent exactly the way it was supposed to be spent. The cash wasn't there to back it up.
Lang explained that the district has a budget limit set by the state each year, authorizing what they're able to spend. She said they never went over that limit until 2024, when a paperwork error cost them nearly $9 million in reimbursements for federal COVID money they already spent.
And we never received the cash to cover those expenditures.
The other problem,
the state froze our property taxes too low, and so we couldn't collect enough cash to cover our entire budget.
Then why not lower the limit if there wasn't enough cash to meet the needs?
Why would we lower our budget limit to meet the cash and take those funds away from students who probably need it the most?
By law, the state has a formula that dictates what each district is allowed to spend each year. But Lang says local taxes have not kept up with the money they need, leaving Isaac operating at a constant cash deficit for years.
Who knew about that?
Everybody.
For the past 5 years, the state auditor general's office flagged Isaac as one of the highest risk districts financially, and the years-long cash deficit, amid other issues, were acknowledged in a special State Board of Education meeting in January called to address Isaac's overexpenditures.
Why didn't anyone do anything about it sooner?
They worked with us. They knew that deficit was there.
She said the district was working to get the deficit down.
When the end of the storm was coming, we got hit with a hurricane. It blew up at us. The failure to collect the funds for the grant, the thing that just kind of pushed us over the cliff and really created this. There was no reason why it needed to become the catastrophic event that everybody made it.
The Maricopa County Treasurer's Office says it's more than just the grant money.
They lied to us.
Treasurer John Allen, in that same January meeting, his office adding the deficit, warrants, and tax anticipation notes to get to that $28 million. He said he started flagging Isaac as early as fiscal year 2022.
They're looking upside down to us. This never got any better.
And by the end of this meeting, the State Board of Education voted unanimously to put the district in receivership, where a third party took control of the finances.
And it is my hope that with my resignation,
the district superintendent and Lynn Lang ultimately resigned amid uncertainty that schools would stay open.
My grandkids are crying.
Or teachers would get paid.
I just want to be paid, hopefully on time.
Teachers were at risk of not being paid. Students were worried that the school would maybe shut down. How do you balance that by saying that, it wasn't as big of a deal as maybe it's being made out to be, when those are very real things that were happening as a result of this?
We didn't have the opportunity to change the narrative at all. It's somewhat manageable, but all of a sudden when you dig another $10 million hole, I can understand. It probably wasn't manageable at that point. But that doesn't mean it couldn't have been fixed without it creating this crisis.
To the families, the staff, and the people who make up the Isaac School District community who have been through this turmoil, what do you say to them?
I'm sorry.
Isaac was largely bailed out by the Tullison Union High School District, who bought one of Isaac's schools for $25 million. The districts worked out a deal where Isaac would pay Tullison back with interest over the next several years. We brought Lang's claims to the attorney for the receiver, who said he couldn't answer questions until their investigation report is complete, but noted that the report would include a financial improvement plan and budget that details how the school district will eliminate any continued gross financial mismanagement and achieve financial solvency.
Who do you think is responsible for what happened?
For the over expenditure in 24, absolutely the district. I don't mind taking responsibility when there's mistakes made. I do mind the fact that they don't let me try to correct those mistakes.
All right, Erica, so when can we expect that investigation report from the receiver to be done?
It'll be really interesting to see that. We are expecting that to come out sometime before mid-May. By law, they have a certain amount of time to finish these things, and they went into receivership. The district did January 14th, so we're expecting that to come out before, hopefully, or at least they would submit it by mid-May.
There are mistakes, and then there's a $28 million mistake that people knew about. I still don't understand why no one just said, stop. We have to stop this and correct it right now before it got to $28 million.
Yeah, and I think speaking with Lynn and, watching all the board meetings, watching that special Board of Education meeting, it sounds like, yeah, no one wanted this as the outcome, but
Right.
It's surprising to hear from her that these other players were
Knew
maybe
about it.
involved or were aware. But at the same time, they would say, this is Isaac's responsibility as well. And they gave guidelines on what they could do. So there is a bit of a, this is what they said, this is what I'm saying. And I think maybe that investigation report will reveal more. But I do want to point out very quickly, guys, that there has been continued fallout. As you said, some of the schools are planning to close down next year. And we also understand that jobs have been eliminated since the receiver took over. Although the district has said they've been able to save some money too by cutting some programs and eliminating those jobs, around $2 million. So that's the latest there.
Caught
So
in the
continued
middle,
fallout.
Caught in the middle, the kids
And the teachers and staff,
which
yeah.
seems so grossly unfair.
Yeah, really unfortunate situation.
Yeah. All right, Erica, thanks.